Welcome back to the English Vision podcast. I'm John, and as always, I am here with my fantastic co-host, Sarah. Whether you're walking to work, cooking dinner, or just relaxing at home, we are so glad you chose to practice your English with us today.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here again. We always have such interesting conversations, and it really helps me and hopefully all of you listening to learn new words in a natural way.
Exactly. Our goal is to help you understand real, everyday English without sounding like you're reading from a grammar textbook. Today, we have a topic that affects every single one of us. We are talking about technology. Specifically, we are looking at whether technology and AI are making our lives easier or just more complicated.
Oh, that is a big topic. I feel like my phone is my best friend, but sometimes it is also my biggest stress.
I think we can all relate to that feeling. During today's episode, we are going to cover some modern buzzwords. A buzzword is just a popular word or phrase that people use a lot right now. We will look at buzzwords for software and artificial intelligence or AI. We will also teach you how to explain your computer or phone problems naturally and give you some everyday vocabulary to talk about your smartphone habits.
That sounds very useful. Sometimes when my phone is broken, I do not know how to explain what is wrong to the repair person.
We will definitely cover that. But before we get deep into the topic, let us give our listeners the question of the day. We want you to think about this while you listen. The question is, what is the one app on your phone you spend the most time on?
That is a dangerous question. I might be embarrassed by my answer.
Well, you have some time to think about it. Let us start by talking about our daily phone habits. Sarah, how much time do you think you spend looking at your phone every day?
I actually checked this recently because my phone gave me a report. It said my screen time was almost 4 hours a day. I was shocked. Is screen time the right phrase?
Yes, perfect. Screen time is the exact phrase we use to describe the total amount of time you spend looking at a device with a screen, like a phone, a tablet, or a computer. 4 hours is actually pretty average these days.
Good. So I'm normal, but I notice that I pick up my phone even when I do not need to. I just unlock it and start moving my finger up and down on social media.
The word for moving your finger up and down on a screen to see more content is scrolling.
Right? Scrolling. Sometimes I do it for 30 minutes without realizing it. It is like I cannot stop.
A lot of people feel that way. In fact, there is a very common word we use when someone cannot stop doing something. We say they are addicted. It is common to hear people say, "I'm addicted to my phone," or "I'm addicted to social media."
Yes, I think I'm a little addicted. Why is it so hard to put the phone down?
Well, a big part of it is notifications.
Notifications are the little messages and sounds that pop up on the screen, right?
Exactly. Every time your phone rings, buzzes, or lights up with a new message, an email, or a social media like, that is a notification. They are designed to grab your attention and make you look at your phone.
I actually turned off a lot of my notifications last week. I only get them for phone calls and text messages now. It feels much more peaceful.
That is a great strategy. Another modern term people use for taking a break from their devices is unplugging. If I say I need to unplug this weekend, it means I'm going to turn off my phone and computer and just enjoy the real world.
Unplugging, I like that, like taking the plug out of the wall so there is no power.
Exactly. You might also hear the phrase digital detox. A detox is when you remove something unhealthy from your body. So a digital detox is when you stop using technology for a certain amount of time to clear your mind.
A digital detox sounds like a good idea for a weekend, but during the week, I really need my phone and my laptop for work. And that brings me to something that makes me very frustrated.
Tech problems.
Yes, yesterday I was working on a document and suddenly the computer just stopped. I could not move the mouse and pressing the buttons did nothing. The picture on the screen just stayed the same. How do I say that naturally?
That is a very common problem. Instead of saying the computer stopped or the picture is not moving, native speakers usually say the computer is frozen or my screen froze.
Frozen like ice? That makes sense because it cannot move.
Exactly. Now, what if you're using an app on your phone and suddenly the app completely closes by itself and takes you back to your home screen?
Oh, I hate when that happens. Usually I lose whatever I was looking at. I would probably say the app closed suddenly.
That is completely understandable, and people will know what you mean, but the more natural native way to say it is that the app crashed.
Crashed like a car crash.
Yes, the same word. If software fails and closes unexpectedly, we say it crashed. You can say, my phone crashed, or my email app keeps crashing.
My phone keeps crashing. Okay, I will remember that. What about when I'm trying to watch a video on YouTube and the video stops playing, and there's a little circle spinning in the middle of the screen? It usually happens when the internet is slow.
That spinning circle is the enemy of all video watchers. The word for that process is buffering. When the internet is slow, the computer has to pause the video to load more data before it can play again. So you would say the video is buffering.
The video is buffering. I used that phrase in my language, but I did not know it was the same in English.
It is a great word to know. Let me give you one more really useful word for tech problems. Have you ever had a small, weird problem with a machine? Maybe your phone screen flashes for a second, or a button does not work the first time you press it, but then it works fine the next time.
Yes, small errors like that happen all the time.
We call a small, temporary problem in a system a glitch. If your computer does something strange for just a moment, you can say, oh, it is just a glitch.
A glitch, I like the sound of that word. So if my app closes suddenly, it crashed. If the screen stops moving, it is frozen. If the video stops to load, it is buffering. And a small error is a glitch. This is so much better than saying my machine is bad.
You have got it perfectly. Using these specific words makes you sound much more fluent and comfortable with the language. Now, I want to transition into the second part of our topic today, which is something that has been in the news constantly for the last year. Let us talk about artificial intelligence, or AI.
Yes, AI is everywhere now. I use some AI tools to help me practice my English writing. It is amazing, but also a little scary sometimes because it is so smart.
It is definitely changing how we live and work. Let us break down some of the vocabulary around AI so our listeners can talk about it confidently. You already mentioned the most important one. AI stands for artificial intelligence. Artificial means made by humans, not natural.
Right? So it is a machine that can think and learn like a human.
Basically, yes. And the way AI learns and makes decisions is by using an algorithm. Have you heard that word before?
I hear people say the word algorithm on social media a lot. They say things like, the algorithm showed me this video, but I do not completely understand what it is.
It is a great word to understand. An algorithm is basically a set of instructions or rules that a computer program follows to solve a problem or make a choice. Think of it like a recipe for baking a cake. You follow the steps to get the result.
So for social media, the algorithm is a set of rules that decides which videos or pictures I will like the most.
Exactly. The algorithm tracks what you look at, what you like, and how long you watch a video. Then it uses those rules to show you more of what it thinks you want to see. That is why your social media feed looks different from my social media feed.
That makes perfect sense. So the algorithm is paying attention to my screen time and my scrolling habits.
You are using all the new vocabulary perfectly, Sarah. Yes, the algorithm pays attention to your scrolling habits. Another word you will hear often when people talk about AI is automation.
Automation, that sounds like automatic.
It comes from the same root word. Automation is the process of using technology to do a job or a task without human help. For example, in the past, a human had to send out every single email for a company. Now, software can send thousands of emails automatically at a specific time. That is automation.
So automation makes our lives easier because machines do the boring or repetitive work.
That is the big debate. Does it make life easier or does it make it more complicated? What do you think, Sarah?
Well, I think mostly it makes things easier. If I need directions to a new restaurant, I just ask my phone. I do not have to read a paper map. If I need to translate a word from my native language to English, an app does it in 1 second. That is very convenient.
I agree with that. The convenience is incredible. What we just described with asking your phone for directions is using a virtual assistant. Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant are all virtual assistants. They are software programs that understand spoken language and can do tasks for you.
A virtual assistant. Yes, I ask my virtual assistant about the weather every morning.
But let us look at the other side. How does technology make life more complicated?
For me, it is the expectation that I'm always available because everyone knows I have a smartphone. They expect me to reply to text messages or emails immediately. Even on the weekends, it feels like I can never truly unplug.
That is a very profound point because technology makes communication instant. Society has developed this expectation of instant responses. It can cause a lot of stress.
Also, I think we rely on technology too much. What happens if the internet goes down or if my phone battery dies? Sometimes I feel like I do not know how to do simple things without my apps.
That is the danger of automation. When we let machines do everything for us, we can lose our own skills. There's a phrase we use for this, over-reliance. When you rely or depend on something too much, it is an over-reliance. We have an over-reliance on our smartphones.
Over-reliance. That is a great phrase. I definitely have an over-reliance on my map app. If it crashes while I'm driving, I'm completely lost.
And that perfectly connects our vocabulary words from today. If your app crashes and you have an over-reliance on it, you have a big problem.
So, to answer the question of our podcast today, is technology making life easier or more complicated? I think the answer is both. It makes the physical tasks easier, but it makes our mental lives more complicated because of the stress and the screen time.
That is a brilliant summary, Sarah. Technology is a tool. If we use it correctly, it helps us. If we let it control us, it becomes a problem. That is why taking a digital detox every now and then is so important.
I think I will try to unplug this weekend, maybe just for one day. No scrolling, no notifications, no virtual assistants.
I challenge our listeners to do the same. Try leaving your phone in another room for a few hours this evening and see how it feels.
Before we finish, John, we need to answer the question of the day.
Yes. The question of the day was, what is the one app on your phone you spend the most time on? Sarah, you said you might be embarrassed by your answer.
Well, my screen time report told me the truth. The app I spend the most time on is a video app where I just watch funny clips of dogs. I can spend an hour just scrolling through dog videos. It is definitely a glitch in my daily routine.
That is a very creative use of the word glitch. I love it, and there is no need to be embarrassed. Dog videos are very entertaining. For me, it is probably my podcast app. I'm always listening to different shows when I'm driving or cleaning the house.
That is a very educational answer, John. Much better than dog videos.
Hey, whatever helps you relax is important too. We would love to hear from our listeners. What app takes up most of your screen time? Try to use some of the new vocabulary you learned today when you think about your answer.
Yes, try using words like scrolling, notifications, or addictive.
Thank you all so much for joining us today on the English Vision podcast. We hope this conversation helped you learn some modern buzzwords and gave you the confidence to talk about technology in a natural way.
Keep practicing your English and do not forget to unplug sometimes.
We will see you in the next episode. Have a great day, everyone.